together, we love to chat about mindful magic. Mindful magic is intentionally, mindfully traveling through each day, each task, every little mundane thing you need to do with a magical mindset. Let's get magical and start this episode. Awesome. Hello, everybody.
Hello. Sorry, my dog was breathing really hard and I was like, I kept it on mute as long as I could.
That's so funny. Oh, they're hot. It's okay.
Yeah.
We love the dogs. We love our fur babies, our familiars. So if they're part of the podcast, that's okay because
Right.
that's
It's not
great.
my breathing.
Oh my God, Kate, I'm hearing the echo and I have no, wait, maybe I'm not now. Okay. Oh, it's so frustrating. I'm going to edit this out.
I don't hear it, but I didn't hear it the first time. I heard it last time, but not this. I don't hear it now.
Yeah, but I have my headphones on, so I'm not really sure what the heck is going on with that. But anyway, hello, everybody, and welcome to Mindful Magic. This is season 3, episode 3. It's all about the threes.
Love it.
Today, we're going to be talking about the many faces of the modern witch. There's something really fascinating happening right now. Witchcraft, spirituality, folk magic, ancestral practices, and energy work, whatever name people connect with, is no longer hidden in whispers behind closed doors. It's everywhere. Young people are opening or oh, this is I love this. It's the young people. Young people are openly discussing tarot on TikTok, herbalism on YouTube, moon rituals on Instagram, and shadow work on podcasts and coffee shops. I love it. And at the same time, elder practitioners who once had to stay quiet are slowly stepping into the light too, often with a softer, wiser sense of humor about the whole thing, because now everybody can just be free. And we're going to emphasize throughout this podcast that it is a okay to be a solitary practitioner, right, Kate?
Absolutely. The result is this beautiful crossroads where brand new witches and longtime practitioners are all sharing space together. Some are deeply ceremonial, some are intuitive, and some are practical kitchen witches who just want to stir healing soup into their tea and intentions. And some are ceremonial magicians with years of study behind them. Some are chaotic little goblin witches who collect rocks and scream lovingly at the moon. There's not a correct way. Every way is correct, I believe. With good intention, I don't think there's a wrong way.
Right. Oh my God. Do you love the little goblin witches? We're all a little goblin witch once in a while.
I wish I could see a screenshot in your mind of the little goblin witch that you saw and the one that I saw, and we could compare
That
images.
would Yeah, that would be so funny. Well, right, Kate. And so, as long as your work is aligned with your highest good, rooted in integrity, and not intentionally causing harm, your path can look different from someone else's. Ancient spell work absolutely has value, no doubt about it. And tradition matters, lineage matters, absolutely study matters. But intuition matters too. Personal connection matters, and spirit evolves with humanity and with evolution, and we are all evolving. So does our practice.
Right. And I was thinking, Marie, I am glad that there are traditions because that is how everything has been carried and brought down. And we're learning all of this is because of those traditions. So there's nothing wrong with that. I'm so grateful that everyone has carried that down and passed it on and through generations, but allowing ourselves that freedom to make something our own.
Right. Right.
Today, we explore the many archetypes of modern witchcraft, how social media changed the landscape, and the difference between performance and authentic practice, and how to find what resonates with your own soul instead of copying someone else's aesthetic.
Correct. And I wanted to mention, I think we're going to also emphasize that tradition is important. It's the backbone. So I think that people who are interested in witchcraft and any aspect of that metaphysical spirituality, there should be study, because if you're interested in it, there's obviously you're developing your intuition and your psychic abilities. There's a there, and so it is good to go look at the old texts. It's important to have that foundation and that backbone, but that isn't necessarily how you have to practice. Be a gardenerian witch, or follow Aleister Crowley, or you know we certainly will never be a proponent of following any dark arts. We don't do that here, right,
Right.
Kate? There is no
Yes,
dark
exactly.
in
Yes.
our art. So
No.
but we're also going to dive into karmic cycles, energetic cords, and why sometimes the most magical thing you can do is stop replaying the same painful soul contract over and over again. Because honestly, why would you want to keep dealing with the same asshole every lifetime?
Ugh, I know. And my crown was tingling when you said that because I'm like, I can think of those assholes in this lifetime that I've
Mhm.
done this with multiple lifetimes and I'm done.
We're done. We're not
We're
going to
done.
do it anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. And
So,
some,
cutting
yeah.
cords, I want to move on. You want to move on.
Exactly. Yes. And sometimes the highest spiritual act is not revenge, not domination, not winning. Sometimes the blessing is the lesson, releasing the attachment, asking for that person's highest good, as hard as it can be, and finally
Mhm.
walking away without dragging the energy into another situation, another relationship, or incarnation.
Right. And gosh, just the act of acknowledgement and the awareness shows that you have elevated, that you have learned. Just being aware of it is even such a huge accomplishment. And in the end, if we believe that we are all connected, if we truly believe that we are all one consciousness experiencing itself through many forms, then healing yourself heals part of the whole.
Hmm.
It's so important.
Yes.
So, with that, welcome back to Mindful Magic. I'm Marie,
And I'm Kate.
and today we're talking about something that honestly feels impossible to ignore now. There are witches everywhere.
Everywhere.
Patriarchy.
Everywhere.
Beware. We're coming for you. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But not really.
Yeah, like when we were younger, people whispered about this stuff. I mean, growing up in a strict Christian household, we didn't even use that word. And the pentacle was evil and run away from it. Now, somebody doing a cord cutting next to their iced coffee on TikTok Live. My chiropractor burns Palo Santo and sage throughout business hours.
Right. And honestly, I kind of love it. We are all, it's out in the open and there's light been shed on it. Far are we from the days of the Salem witch trials and trying to silence women as healers. Don't you love it?
I love it. And mostly because people aren't afraid now. There's less shame around intuition and spirituality. Like when I first came out of the broom closet, I felt outnumbered because my circle was my family, my toxic friends. A lot of them I'm not even connected with anymore because I have my own circle now. When the more you show the world who you are, you're creating this community around yourself and you feel more secure, as that grows, I feel like everyone feels it.
Right. And honestly, Kate, it's brave to come out of the broom closet. And it's a little scary because there is such a stigma attached to the word witch. I mean, I was hiding in plain sight for years with kitchen witch. Ha ha ha. You know,
Mhm. Yeah.
I I wanted it to be there. I had it on my license plate even. Like but it is scary because there is still a stigma attached. I mean, um I don't want to liken it to coming out of any type of closet, but there is that fear of rejection and fear of
Yes.
scrutiny and fear of um I mean, it just all of those things. Can you imagine? It's just it can be terrifying. So I give us credit, you, Kate, and me, and anybody else who is brave enough to stand in their spiritual aspects of themselves and putting that out there because I think people are hungry for it too, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
And, because younger witches, our baby witches, literally haven't been on earth very long yet. They're learning in a totally open environment, not like we did, you know? And meanwhile, there are elder witches out there quietly going, "Oh, honey, we used to have to hide our tarot cards and we used to have to hide every aspect." So, this message is also for our younger witches out there. Please understand how fortunate you are to be coming up and out in this day and age where it is more open
Yeah.
because we really did have to hide.
Oh yeah. I did too. And I mean, that was only 10 years ago. It is all happening quickly too. There's this gentle passing of wisdom happening, and the older practitioners sharing their knowledge with humor instead of gatekeeping. I love that.
I do too. Gosh, I follow so many on the social medias and I'm just in love with them. Their bravery and sharing their knowledge. And it's just this amalgamation of everybody's intuitive ability and being open. And honestly, Kate, I know you feel this too. I am blown away by how open some of our younger witches and spiritualists are. They are dialed in and I am so proud of them. I'm like, they blow me away when I see them giving like tarot readings online or here's your message for the day. I'm blown away. Aren't
Yes.
you?
Fearless and authentic. I love it. Yes.
Right. Oh gosh, so true. So, hey, let's talk about some of the different kinds of witches people might resonate with. Um because we all have strengths and weaknesses. So focus on what resonates best with you and the challenges, to do shadow work on your weaknesses, that'll show up anyway. So, what resonates with you, Kate?
Yeah. And none of these are rigid boxes. These are more like flavors of energy. You can overlap and blend, you can evolve, you can change over time. And you should. I think so.
Right. And I would invite everybody to look at the graphic that Kate so like, you're such a pro at making graphics, but look at the graphic for this episode. I got to call attention to this, Kate, because you created this graphic of a dollhouse, and there are all these different rooms, and each room is a different type of witch, but they're all under the same rooftop. And I love that.
Yeah. And we
And I
couldn't
want to
fit
live
you all
there.
in there, but you're all welcome.
Right. There's more rooms. We're only seeing the first layer of it, right?
Yeah. Yes. It's like a big apartment complex. We're adding on.
Yeah. I I love it. So, you might start as a crystal loving moon witch and end up becoming a grumpy swamp herbalist in 10 years like me. I definitely feel like a bog hag some days,
Don't we
right?
all? Goals, Marie.
I
So
know.
you've got kitchen witches, which we deeply resonate with, magic woven into everyday life. This is a lot about what we do here at Mindful Magic. We teach about how to make everything magic. Cooking with intention, herbal teas, protection simmer pots, feeding people love.
I love that. And then there are green witches who we also resonate with, who work deeply with plants, land spirits, gardening, herbs, and the nature cycles of earth. And then you've got hedge witches, love this, who works with the worlds spiritually. Very liminal energy in those types of witches. If you are that and you resonate with that, that is amazing. We've got cosmic witches, we have lunar witches, we have chaos witches, ceremonial practitioners, folk magic practitioners, and then there are intuitive witches who honestly just feel their way through things energetically. And we love that. Please do you.
Mhm. Yeah, and honestly, a lot of us end up blending paths naturally over time. Like for me personally, I resonate with psychic witchcraft and intuitive energy work, but I work with flowers. I work with elemental energy, fairies, and angel magic, of course. So like I just blended them, and I don't really put myself in a box. I just whatever I'm interested in. So if
Right.
anyone ever
And
says,
that,
"Well, what kind of witch are you?" I don't really know. I just like everything.
yeah. And like, I identify as a witch. You don't have to put yourself in one of those apartment rooms if you don't
No.
want to. And, that's a beautiful example of how personal this path can become. And again, if you are somebody who likes the sisterhood, and we're going to say brotherhood, we are all inclusive here, of working with a coven, which I have done. And I loved my sisterhood. I loved it. But honestly, and I mentioned this before, that life got so busy and I moved around and it was just hard to make the meetings, folks. So
Yes.
you become uh, a, a solitary practitioner, and that's beautiful. And you connect with your folks remotely as well.
Yeah. And some people connect deeply with tarot, some with herbs, some with prayer, some with ancestors, and some with the earth itself. And eventually you start realizing your practice becomes this living reflection of your soul.
I
And
love that.
I don't even know how to, Marie and I could have a whole episode on our favorite books, but I added this in here, Marie. Some of
Mhm.
my favorite books that really help shape my path are Psychic Witch by Matt Oren, Enchantment, anything by Ted Andrews. We were just talking about him, Marie. But
Yep.
Enchantment of the Fairy Realm, anything Lucy Cavendish, Dolores Cannon, Edgar Casey, and even Neville Goddard. I know that they you wouldn't think they'd be in the same category, but for me they are because Neville is like a manifestation genius, and I love his teaching. So I just get a little bit from everyone.
I exactly. And no, Edgar Casey was not a witch, but I have this old tattered paper book or paperback copy that my stepmom gave me when I was like 12, and I read it from cover to cover at 12 and was just blown away. And so we add these people to this because they might not want the title or be in this like a witchy category, but we're all under a metaphysical umbrella. And so they have helped shape us. Dolores Cannon, I mean, Kate, come on. Oh, I wish
And
she was still here.
then her protege, of course, I have to mention Sarah Bressman Cosme. I love her too. All of her
Right,
books.
right. Right. And I think that's what people are craving for right now. Authentic connection instead of like rigid perfection and having to follow a certain way, you know?
Yeah, I'm craving that. That's
Yeah.
what we do though. I don't really crave it because that's I allow myself to do that, but I remember being at that point where I craved it. Um and another thing that's important is not everybody's practice has to look ancient and dramatic to be valid.
Right. So we're talking about tradition here. There are some people out there that really strictly adhere to traditional values within Wiccan realms. And one day we'll go into this, Kate, like where it all started, and they're kind of two different. Well, we'll get into that later, but like we touched on earlier, it's good to understand where the traditions come from. I know you and I, Kate, have taken old spells and we rework them to work for us. I feel very personal. I have my own book of shadows. I kind of feel like um I appreciate all of the work that came before me, but I want to take it and make it my own because it feels like it works stronger for me like that.
I totally agree. I do the same. My book of shadows, it's very it's a mess, but it's there and I love that. I feel like I have to make it my own to really enhance my intentions and
Right,
the
right.
intention of the work.
and it's your mess, so that's the
Yeah, it's
point
my
of
mess.
it.
I know where everything is.
Right, right, and so even more so now, our free will is bubbling to the surface, y'all. Some people love structured ancient ritual, and that's amazing. I There's definitely a place for that, and others light one candle and whisper a prayer from the heart, and that's just as real for them and just as valid.
Yeah. The key is intention and alignment and responsibility. We need to add that. As long as you understand the witchy laws of what you put out does come back. Some say threefold, others say 10. And if you're doing energy work for good or bad, you are cheating, you're creating ties like soul ties. You're creating karmic ties.
Right. And so that's a great segue that we wanted to talk about um, karma and repeating soul lessons, right, Kate? This is
Yes.
important.
Yes. So let's talk about karmic loops. We'll just jump into karmic loops.
Oh boy. Okay, here we go, folks. Put your
Because
seatbelt on.
I think a lot of people accidentally stay spiritually attached to people they should have released years ago. And we could talk a whole episode on that sentence right there.
I know. It's like it becomes such a part of our daily conversations, Kate,
Yeah.
anyway. So this is such a real thing. So absolutely. And I don't even mean just romantic relationships. We're talking friends, family, rivals, toxic coworkers, people who trigger wounds over and over again. They're there for a reason, but there are also ways that you can cut ties with them so you are not repeating karmic patterns.
Right. Did we learn nothing from Romeo and Juliet?
I love it.
Some people spend years spiritually obsessing over someone they claim they want freedom from, and energetically, that's still attachment.
Right. So at some point, you have to ask yourself, why would I want to carry this into another lifetime? Why would you want to keep meeting the same soul in different forms just to replay the pain and trauma again and again? No thanks.
Right. No, no. And I think too, it takes, like you said earlier, Marie, the acknowledgement is so huge. Like it comes to a point where you're like, oh wait, this is repeating. It takes time to notice sometimes. At least for me, it took me years. Like, wow, this is actually a pattern. So it's the highest magic is saying, I release this. I bless the lesson. I ask for highest good, but I'm done carrying this. I want my energy back. And that is not weakness.
No, absolutely not. And it actually means sovereignty. Sovereignty over your choices and your outcomes because if we really believe that we're all connected, then hurting others and allow others to hurt us endlessly only keeps the wound alive in the collective as well.
Ooh, yeah, that is so true. So, and you can walk away with compassion and boundaries at the same time. I mean, and honestly, that's how you have to do it most of the time. It's
Right.
very rare that someone peacefully leaves your life. I have had it happen, but the boundaries are very important.
Absolutely.
So
Wow.
it's time for the Kitchen Witch Corner.
Yay, cue the cheers and clapping.
The ting.
We're gonna ding. We're gonna talk about, and something that we came up with, Archangel Michael cord cutting ritual, and also we're gonna share with you a very grounding tea. So it is definitely that time again.
And today we're doing a simple yet powerful karmic cord cutting and cleansing ritual inspired by Archangel Michael's energy.
Now, this is not about controlling somebody else. It's not revenge magic, and it's not domination work.
Right. This is about releasing unhealthy energetic attachment with love and clarity. So, what you will need, everything that we do and teach is very simple. A white candle, a small bowl of water, rosemary or a bay leaf. And if you use a bay leaf, you can always write something specific on it, a name or a situation. A black tourmaline or obsidian if you have it, and a quiet space.
I love that. So, once you have everything gathered, you light your candle with intention and take a few deep breaths. Visualize Archangel Michael standing beside you with protective, calm energy. Imagine any unhealthy cords between you and another person appearing before you who that's not love, not compassion, but fear, obsession, resentment, guilt, manipulation, or especially pain, any negative memories. And then you can say, and I quote, with love and wisdom, I release all unhealthy energetic ties between myself and others. And you can name that specific person or situation. Then say, I bless the lessons and challenges. I call my energy fully back to myself, cleansed and renewed. I ask for the highest good of all involved. What is mine leaves now in peace. And so it is.
So it is. That was beautiful. And after that, you're going to place the rosemary or bay leaf into the bowl of water as a symbol of purification. And then you're going to want to sit quietly for a few moments and just breathe. You feel the cords being cut and dissolving, and you no longer have reactions to these memories, people, or situations. Sometimes I'll envision the cords being cut, and I take a deep breath in, and I envision myself pulling my energy back in. They aren't meant to disappear, but rather your reaction. Like all these memories, you won't be I'll have to go back. I didn't mean to cut myself off. So you're no longer going to have reactions to these memories, these people or situations. They're not meant to disappear because this is a lesson. This is how you're going to stop the lessons in the future, which I will get into later. But rather your reaction or being triggered will disappear when you're no longer energetically or emotionally attached to them. It's this awareness. Make sure you empty your bowl of water outside where the earth can transmute it for you. If you don't have it outside, down the sink or the toilet works too. See the dissolution as as you complete your ritual by disposing of the water. Water holds energy for us. And then you're going to feel the gratitude for what you just did for yourself. So disposing of the water in whatever way feels best for you.
I love that. So your white candle is there to provide protection and also help to burn up that cord energy, and your black tourmaline or obsidian, which we know helps to attract and transmute negative energies as well, right, Kate?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And
I
so,
love that.
yeah, it's so simple, and I know we've talked about this before too, because Archangel Michael has his sword, and we've talked about envisioning him helping us by just like slicing that cord with his sword.
Yeah.
Their energy goes back to them, your energy goes back to you. You shake hands and walk away,
I
right?
love it. And I want to mention too, Marie, this doesn't have to be, this can be every Friday or every Sunday. Like whenever you're ending your week, calling all of your energy back to you. If you've had a stressful week, you can make this into a closing the week ritual as well.
I love that. Which, right, we should do. It shouldn't just be about cord cutting. We really should be calling our energy back to us because we
Every
give
day.
so much of ourselves, and we are leaky when we don't even know we're leaky.
Oh, yeah. Especially with social media. That is a really, really big energy suck that you should. I always envision my phone surrounded by white light and myself because that is a huge, huge energy suck.
Right. And we should change the name from doom scrolling to something else that's more positive. Like, I don't know, we'll think about it, but I hate that word doom
A
because
whimsy whirl.
whimsy world, I love that. Maybe that is something that we should install. I'm going to whimsy whirl for a bit, and I'm going to protect myself while I do it,
Yes.
because I'm sorry. I like to look. I like to watch funny things. Kate, real quick, I know that, like, in my feed are a ton of pit bulls being cute and animal videos, and I love those ones where people do the scare pranks. So those
I
show
love
up
those.
so much.
I love videos where people fall, and I know that sounds so mean, but I love it. I could watch them all day.
Like the ones that are people put in from their Ring videos where people come up and
Yes.
then fall down their stairs. Oh
That
my
is a
gosh, as
boost
long
in
as they
vibration from someone else's pain. I can't help it.
and as you're wishing that they didn't really get too
Yeah.
hurt. They can't be too hurt or they wouldn't have submitted it, right?
That's just AI. Let's
Um,
scroll.
Yeah, yeah, another Whimsy Whirl, yeah, and what's another one? Oh my god, I just love those scare pranks, though. I love people's reaction when they make funny noises
My
or
new
when they
favorite,
pee their pants.
yes. The new one is the women who, if they feel threatened outside in the street by creeps, they react in the craziest ways. They do not care and they don't hold back. I'm not even going to repeat some of the things they say, but it is hilarious. But also, I'm like, I might try that, like crazy screaming, chasing them, like they turn around and chase them, and that's funny.
Go into banshee mode, I love
Yes.
that. It's the equivalent of a rape whistle, right? You're just drawing attention to it, and they don't want attention drawn to them, so
No.
oh gosh, okay, we're doom scrolling ourselves, whimsy worrying ourselves out of there. Okay, we're gonna cut the cords and bring it back here. So let's talk about grounding ourselves. We've got a little recipe to share for some chakra cleansing grounding tea. So we're generally when we're talking about making teas, it's like a teaspoon or so of each ingredient. It's really up to you as long as you're doing it with intention. It I don't think how much of the ingredients really matters. Whatever you have on hand and you can substitute anything you want as long as it's something that is not going to react in your system. We want to always give that disclaimer that to please be aware of allergic reactions and using things that are organic that don't affect you with pesticides and chemicals. Um, but anyhow, here's a little recipe for some grounding tea. We're going to always talk about chamomile for peace, peppermint for energetic clearing, ginger for solar plexus strength, lemon balm for heart soothing, hibiscus for root and heart connection, and of course, honey for sweetness and healing. And anything that you feel like you need out of that, put it in, let it pour the hot water over it, and as the tea is steeping, stir it clockwise like your tiny, tiny little cauldron and set the intention and say, I ground into my body, my truth, and my highest path. It's so simple. Or any version of that that you feel grounds you. Just put a little intention into your water.
I love that, Marie. And I want to mention, I see all these ingredients here, and I know for me, let's say I don't have one. This is what I do. If I didn't have hibiscus root, I would put like a red crystal next to my tea just to
I love
make
that.
sure I had all the colors. So you can make it your own. If you don't have something, it's okay. Just make sure that intention is there. So,
Perfect.
so next you're gonna drink slowly, no doom scrolling, maybe a whimsy whirl, but it's still not recommended while drinking your magical tea. That might honestly be the hardest spiritual discipline of all. I love that. So I did a collective reading that I want to share, Marie, before we close this episode. So,
Thank you so
yeah.
much, Kate. I love when you pull cards for people. You guys, I want to just take a second to plug my sister, Kate. You can always request an angel reading or a personal reading for her from her. She is so talented and so tuned in. And I think that we are very blessed that she's willing to pull cards here for us. So always tune in because we're going to try to always um, take advantage of Kate's gift while she's here.
Go ahead. Thank you, sister. So when I was tuning in, I did this right before we got on, and I was so into it. I didn't realize we're like 5 minutes to going on. I was so into this reading. It's so powerful. So my angels said, we aren't hearing something. That's what I heard. You're not hearing something. And I said, well, what aren't we hearing? And the answer was simple, that everything is simple. And Marie, I want to say we just talked about this earlier, just you and I. Um, we are overthinking so many aspects of our life, not just spiritually, not just our witchy path, but try to simplify things more, making things more simple. If you feel overwhelmed, really analyze your schedule, your routine. Why do I feel so overwhelmed? Is this necessary? How can I make it more simple? So, and allowing yourselves to lead, just not overthinking too much. So, if you, for example, if you start a book, you're one chapter in and you're like, no, this isn't for me, and you don't finish it, that's okay. I don't care if it's a New York Times bestseller or your best friend says it's their favorite. really be mindful and allow yourself to have what you want, but don't do things because other people do. It's very important to allow yourself to lead now. Like what you truly, what feels good, give yourself that. If it doesn't, don't waste your energy. Um, Back to simple. So after doing cord cuttings or asking spirit to release a lesson, it's important to remember that every prayer and intention is heard, but it's up to us to start making decisions from this new version of ourselves, because I feel that when you set intentions or you set a goal and you're acting on them, you have to become that version of yourself to really embody that, to be open to receiving it. So this is going to require small changes. Now, this is meant to not be overwhelming. Small changes matter. So it's, let's say you call your energy back. Spirit is going to send a similar situation to you, and it's up to you to say, they're like, okay, Kate, are we going to do this again, or are you really ready to move on? So small things matter. So when you catch yourself speaking or taking action from perspective of your, old self, this is where your magic starts to work. It doesn't mean that you're going back. It means that you're in it. I think it's powerful when you see that, wow, I've seen this lesson, I acknowledge it, and I really am ready to do something different. So doing all things with love for your highest good and with the best intentions for all, taking it moment by moment. You will know when opportunities arise. So we're going to get into the cards. So after that is the message I received before I pulled cards. I only pulled two because this first one was really, really powerful. I pulled from The Fairy Forest by Lucy Cavendish. I recommend any of her decks. She's so amazing. So the first card is the Solitary. Dedication, self love, and focus. It's time to go at it alone. Help is wonderful, but this is a time to retreat within yourself and walk your own path. I have to quote her here because it gave me chills. Withdrawing inwards, which appears to be depression, is actually a way of respecting the soul's shadow, investigating it, understanding it, and mastering it. This card indicates a time when you will go it alone, walking your own path and carving a way forward that remains true to your deep self. There will be learning away from the mainstream, and there may be moments where you feel isolated or worried about how your new path will be perceived. This card can also indicate that in a past life, you suffered for your gifts spiritually. You may have experienced a past life as a healer, seer, witch, wizard, or even medicine person, where a new order declared your gifts dark or invalid. That fear can still follow you when you connect with your power, resulting in fears surrounding your intuition and natural abilities. So, I have to add, when I was receiving this, I'm hearing that everyone listening to this has had a similar experience in a past life. And there's everyone that's listening has abilities, different types of talents and abilities. So by going within, we learn more about our soul. It's not always a part of the journey we look forward to, but it is a time of deep spiritual development and necessary growth. Before we can shine our light into this world, we must first ignite our inner spark. Going inwards is the sacred task of tending your own flame before turning back to the world again. I just love that message. I mean, see how it's like I don't know how to say that a different way. It's so powerful and it fits so well with this episode. Doing things on our own, what feels best for us. And then following that, I pulled the last card, Before the Gathering, celebration, anticipation, and event. This is such a beautiful omen of good things coming to you. I'm also hearing that many of you are being way too hard on yourselves. You're seeing yourselves as less than what you truly are. So there is a renewing of self worth happening through this inner work and self love approach. A spirit saying to treat each day as if it's special when you wake up. I wrote about this in Angel Magic, and I need to get back to doing this. It's like that feeling you have when you wake up and it's your birthday, or you're going on a date night, whatever. When you wake up and you have those exciting feelings and you want to look your best, you're full of gratitude and joy, wearing your favorite clothes, doing your hair. Act as if today's a gift and a joyous event, because it is. So waking up and in pretending for a moment that it's your birthday or something like that, that is a great way to boost your vibration right when you wake up. And that's all I have for you today.
Kate, thank you so much. Oh my gosh. So talented. And Anybody who hears this and it resonates with you, that is absolutely meant to be, and I think that there is so much within that reading that, um, people are gonna have to re-listen to it because every time you get a reading and you re-listen, you get a different message, and, Kate, we were just talking earlier today about waking up and that the feeling is the secret to manifestation. We were
Yes.
just talking about this. So it's so interesting that it popped up in your reading, which is just validation and confirmation. I was telling Kate that when I wake up in the morning, the things that I am trying to manifest in my life, you don't necessarily just imagine them and visualize them. You feel the feelings you have when you have them as if they are already happening. How do you feel? And that is the secret. That is what the universe connects with is your emotions. So that is a really important point to make, right?
Yeah. And like Neville says, feeling is the secret. Feeling is so important.
Right. And for those of you, I just wanted to share this one little thing that occurred to me many years ago. And it's so simple, but for anybody who wants to develop their psychic ability, their intuition a little bit more, I'm going to share this with you. You just get a quarter. I like to use a quarter, like a coin, any coin of your choice, but a quarter has enough weight for at least for me. But use what you got. You have a 50-50 chance. It's either going to be heads or tails, whatever your coin is, right? So, what I started doing, and I've shared with people, is flip your coin and catch it. And your very first initial impression, what is that? It teaches you how you get your information. Some of us hear it, some of us see it, some of us feel it. You're trying to figure out the way that you get your psychic impressions. For me personally, it's kind of a mix. It's so weird. It's like I hear it and see it. It'll like the words, the literal text box will appear in my mind's eye, heads or tails, but I'll also kind of hear it. And I had to work really hard to get that very first impression because after you hear heads or tails, then for me at least, I would hear all kinds of stuff after that. And I think it's you questioning yourself, right, Kate? You're
Yeah.
questioning whether you just got what you got. But if you go back to your very first impression and then you reveal what it is, you're going to know that you're getting that correct information that comes from you, your higher self, your spirit team, the universe, whatever you want to call it. But it helps you to become more confident in what you know.
Yeah. I love that, Marie. So simple. It's mindful magic, Marie.
Yep.
So, whether you're brand new to this path or you have walked it quietly for decades, your practice does not have to look like anyone else's.
Right. So stay curious, stay grounded, keep your humor, keep your compassion, and maybe most importantly, stop spiritually dragging dead relationships into future timelines.
Please, your soul is tired. Thank you for tuning in and keep a lookout for our next episode. And as always, if you have an idea for an episode, please email us at mindfulmagicchannel@gmail.com. We love you. See you next time and blessed be.
Yeah, my outro isn't starting, Kate. I'm so sorry. What the heck? Okay. Thank you guys. We'll see you next time.